Welcome to the Real Solution Revolution. It's time to cast away agendas and greed and create and execute real solutions for the betterment of mankind. That's what we're going to be doing this year on the podcast.
Here's your host, Scott Alexander.
Welcome to the Real Solution Revolution. I'm Scott Alexander. Oh, Scott, when will you cease to go on these tirades? My goodness, man, come back to us. Make sure that you tell us things that we want to hear. Don't get into the weeds with religion or politics, please. Please. Too late. This is the most profound time of my life and yours. You may not recognize it, but it is. Right now, we are fighting probably the most premier battle on the stage right now, and that would be free speech. It is the premier civil rights cause of our time right now. Case in point, if you go to YouTube and try to find any sort of videos that disagree with the narrative, the agenda of COVID, they'll be taken down. They have been taken down. Doctors who at the beginning of COVID came up with remedies that were able to go ahead and treat the disease or the virus were taken down. They were shouted down. They were canceled. Now things are starting to turn around. Dr. Fauci, not quite as perfect as we thought. Take a look at Jon Stewart and his tirade on Late Night Show recently. Absolutely hysterical, but yeah, right on, nailed it. Also, the fact that in Arizona, here where I live, 15 channels have been taken off who have the audacity to say that we want to take a look at this election and find out what the actual numbers are before we make any judgment to see if it was fine or if it was up and up. A lot of questions about this election. It was the biggest election that we've ever had. The most people voted in that election. Plus, they instituted a brand new ballot that was mailed in. And so why wouldn't you want to find out just with that alone if everything was working properly and everything was copacetic? Why wouldn't you find out with that? But no, you come up with an opposing viewpoint against their narrative, the agenda, you're going to be taken down. And they have been taken down. Yeah, 15 channels have been taken down that question the vote of 2020. Also, on Twitter, you see that there is a mass exodus, actually, of conservative voices on Twitter. Why is that? Well, first and foremost, they took down the president, meaning they took down his Twitter account and would not allow him to speak any further on that platform, which he had millions of followers. Took him down. If they can take down the president, they can take down you. And you may think, well, he needed to be taken down. He was just on. You know what? Old saying in broadcasting. If you don't like the show, turn it off. Go to another one. There's another one right down the dial that you can go ahead and enjoy. All right? And so that's what's happening right now. There is a move, and it's going to happen, of where Twitter losing its market share, Facebook will lose its market share. I'm declaring that to you now, as well as Google will lose their market share. And the reason being is that there is a brand new platform that they're developing, the blockchain platform. If you don't know what that is, well, you'll be hearing more and more about it in the next coming months and years. And that is going to literally free up the internet like Tron did with the Allen 1 program. But we cannot allow ourselves to continue to be in fear of retribution or cancellation by the left. We cannot. How do we do that? By speaking up, by encouraging opposing viewpoints. When I was a university professor, I used to tell my students, iron sharpens iron. Opposing viewpoints are good for you because it helps you with your viewpoint. You have to possibly research your viewpoint a little bit more. You have to do a little bit deeper dive into your viewpoint. You may have grown up with a viewpoint that has been told to you over and over again. Well, it's okay to question that viewpoint. And let me tell you something. God is quite all right with you questioning him. He's big enough to handle it. Trust me, he's big enough to handle it. Go ahead and question God. Question authority. Question everything. When people are against this audit here in Arizona, I say audit them all. Audit the IRS, audit the Fed, audit your senators, audit what they're doing in Congress, in the Senate, the president, audit it. Why not be able to shed the light of day on everything they require us to give our money to? That's right, your tax dollars pay for them to legislate. So why shouldn't you be able to question that? Have the answers. Be able to look into, oh, that's where my money's going. And I don't think I want my money to go there. We need to speak up. We need to speak out. You need to be bold. You need to be brave. You've got to realize that right has might. And there are more of us than there are of them. They may sound like they're a lot, but they're in an echo chamber, and right now they own the mainstream media. But that's going to end. That is going to end. And truth will prevail. So stand on the right side. Allow freedom of speech, freedom of thought. Allow and know that if there's an opposing viewpoint, that's healthy. I'm not talking about somebody beating you over the head with a club. That's not healthy. That's not really something that you can reason with. But if there is an opportunity to reason with somebody by persuading them with wisdom, truth, love, then do so. Then do so and get set for the Real Solution Revolution.
Thank you for listening to Scott Alexander and Real Solutions. You can contact Scott at realsolutionsusa@gmail.com.